How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck? Holy shit! That's a shiny. Oh shit, guys! Where's my crack? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas week that had just passed. I know I did. I'm super excited to talk to you guys all about it, but first things first, let's conclude the festive event that just happened on Pokemon Sleep. So I actually have 2 sleep data entries, so let's start reviewing them. I did see that you can review all at once. That UI is actually new to me because I've never encountered that before. So I don't want to mess anything up. I don't know if it will. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to do it one by one. But this is sleep session 884. We are 4 away from it being 888. So that would be next year. But this is for December 18. Let's see if there's anything. I did not get any shiny. So let's see what. Oh, we have a new sleep style for Glaceon. Is it going to be a shiny? Oh my gosh. This event was not lucky for me, although I did see a lot of you guys on the Discord who got really shiny, really lucky with your shiny luck. So congrats to everyone, because oh my gosh, the amount of luck, double shinies as well. Okay, so I'm missing the 3-star Glaceon and making good progress on Greengrass. I mean, I've already hit M20, but it's nice to hover around like 18 and stuff just to get higher like dream shards and stuff. Okay, let's see. Nobody's hungry. I'm just gonna give the bonus biscuit to this Citadel. Also, ooh, yay, I caught that. Okay, the evolved form Setitan. Do you guys pronounce it as Setitan or Cetitan? Because I noticed the second half of that name is Titan, but I've been saying Setitan. So now I wonder what the proper pronunciation is. But we got Citadel. Let's finish this sleep session. And let's do this one. Because if I do Glaceon, it's just going to be Eevee candies. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not even really using any of my evolutions anymore. Are you guys using any of your evolutions? I feel like if I were in the Tundra, I'd probably use my Glaceon more for pod expansion, but I'm like never at the Tundra. Okay, so it's Brave, which is speed of help up, EXP down, and Citadel is an ingredient Pokemon. And we've got double sausages. Do people like this with sausage or potato? And then we've got ingredient finding S and M. S is at a good spot, but M is at 100. It's gonna take a hell of a lot of resources to get to there. But I do like the skill level up since it has charge energy S, so it can heal itself. The speed of help S is really nice, especially with the nature that we got, and inventory up is nice on an ingredient finding Pokemon as well. But I don't know. I mean, I think I'll star it just in case I ever want to use it as a sausage farmer on a Tundra, if that is a thing. Will I probably do it? No, but it's good to have options. I have a Charizard that I use right now for sausage farming. The only thing though is that on the 60th slot, it is Ginger, I think, which is why I haven't been pouring resources onto it. But right after the Christmas event, we are now hopping in to the New Year's event. So before we go on to the next sleep report, let me just look at a brief little refresher of the New Year event, because I totally forgot from last year and I have not read the notes since I had quite the busy week that just happened. So a little bit of a refresher for me as well. But it seems like this is a 2-week long event, and this is a special time when Pokemon who arrived in Pokemon Sleep 2025 are more likely to appear. Ooh, that's good. That means I have higher chances for farming a good Happiny and Pumpkaboo. So I'm excited about that. During this week, you can encounter certain Pokemon again, such as Trapinch, Bagon, Dwebble, Pebble, on Greengrass Island, which is good to note. If you're curious why they made an emphasis on this, it's because currently right now you can only find those Pokemon on Amber Canyon, so newer players are locked from getting there just from like sleep style objectives and everything. But new players, you can find a Trapinch, Bagon, or a Pebble, Dwebble on Greengrass Isle for this event. Also, the event exchange where you can trade dream coins for various items will be available, and I believe they gave us some dream coins as an apology yesterday. I think I've noticed it. Additionally, you will be able to use a Candy Cram-O-Matic during the second week of the event. I am excited about this because that is when you can use any of the candies that you have surplus of and you're not using and recycle that into new candy. Random though, so there is that to note. Different bonuses and Pokemon with greater appearance rates are planned for the first and second week of this event. Ooh, interesting. So let's see where we're gonna head for the first week. This week. Is it this week? Yes, it's this week because New Year's is this week. It's easy to let our sleep become inconsistent this time of the year, which is very true. My sleep has been very inconsistent around this period, especially the period between Christmas and New Year's, you know? Alright, let's see. So the following effects will trigger in the applicable areas during this event. All days, a few Pokemon of different sleep styles will appear during the sleep research regardless of your sleep type of that day. Very vanilla, it's always there. Certain Pokemon will be more likely to appear during sleep research. You can obtain event items through sleep research once per day, so you will not get that for your second sleep of the day if you're planning on being cheeky and doing that. A limited time event exchange will be available with the Dream Coins. And on week 1 exclusively, candies gained from the first sleep research of the day will be multiplied by 1.5. The chance of a helper Pokemon's main skill triggering will be multiplied by 1.25, which is really nice. And then main skill levels of all helper Pokemon will be boosted by 1 as well. Now for week 2, we're looking at these bonuses. This is what's going to happen. Dream Shards from sleep research will be multiplied by 1.5. Oh, you see the wording is different. Because up top here, it says first sleep research of the day will be multiplied by 1.5. Here it just says Dream Shards from sleep research 1.5. So I'm guessing that's a typo. Final strength gained from dishes will be multiplied by 1.25 or 2.5 for extra tasty or 3.75 for extra tasty on Sundays only, which is really, really great. So for week 2, if you are planning to want to hit M20 for any of the maps, this would be a great time to do so, just to take advantage of the extra strength from the dishes. So week 1, maybe go somewhere where you can be a little bit more relaxed, but you still find the Pokemon that you want to use. But you can afford skipping on meals so that you can stockpile those ingredients to bring on to week 2 and take full advantage of the final strength gains that you'll be getting from the dishes. Will I be doing that? I don't know. It really depends on what is available on the map, and we'll see where that goes. Maybe I will try to hit M20 somewhere. You know, we will see. The limited time Candy Cram-O-Matic function will be available on this week as well. And on January 1st, the first day of the year, we will be rewarded with 3 times the Drowsy power. So let's take a look into the details here to further examine what kind of Pokemon that we can encounter. So for week 1, okay, that is a lot, and I wish there were pictures. I wish instead of the words, it just shows the picture, the head pictures of the Pokemon, you know? All right. Okay, I need to focus, so give me a moment. All right, so after taking a look at the list, I think out of the Pokemon available for week 1, the ones that stand out to me the most are definitely Paldean Wooper, because I'm still on the hunt for a Mona Cacao one, and the Happening, so that I have a more reliable egg farmer instead of relying on my Ampharos, who is a skill-based Pokemon. And don't get me wrong, it procs its skill a lot and is really nice. Double triggers a lot as well. And it does give me eggs since it's mono egg, but I'd rather have a Pokemon that will give me a lot of eggs. So with that being said, for a Wooper and a Happiny, the good options for me would be Greengrass Isle, competing with a very large spawn pool. The other one would be Amber Canyon, and I think that is it. Oh well, there's Greengrass Isle Expert Mode, but I don't think I'm gonna go expert mode this week. So I'm gonna head to Amber Canyon, and our objective is the Paldean Wooper and the Happiny. Now, this is increased odds of encountering them. I know that Pumpkaboo also shows up in Amber Canyon, so either way, I do have a chance of encountering Pumpkaboos as well. So, decision made, we are going to go to Amber Canyon. And week 2, I'm going to have to take a look at that some other time because it's a lot. I'm sure there's like infographics somewhere. Maybe some of you guys have already posted it on our Discord. Always appreciate when you guys do a solid like that. Now let's do the second sleep research of yesterday and see what we got. Now, because the event says that, also the event, the New Year's event, there's no increased shiny odds. So I'm not going to be taking naps, and it's probably better that way because the thing with this event that just happened, you have 2 choices. You can either forgo the nap so that you get a very high drowsy power to take advantage of the multiplier for dream shards that just happened for Christmas, right? Or you're okay with losing out on dream shards and you want to take a nap to get extra rolls on potentially landing a shiny from your sleep session. Now for New Year's, we don't have increased shiny odds, so there's no reason for me to take a nap, and therefore I'm going to get a lot more dream shards. I'm not in a rush to farm dream shards because honestly, there's not really anything I need to level up. My Pokemon are at a good spot right now. So yeah, I have some Pokemon that are like level 60 as well, or 65 is the new max. At first I thought the glittering effects there from Butterfree was shiny, but it's not. Okay, let's see. No shiny again, no. But we got 2 Holidays Fields and another Citadel. Oh shoot, I forgot to, did I? No, I think I completed my incense mission. Oh, so I never encountered 4-star Butterfree before, but that is done. Is it? Yeah, it's done. So I've completed the sleep style decks for Butterfree. We got all 4 entries. Now, what will I be able to catch? I hope they appear hungry. Is anyone hungry? No one's hungry. Okay. Oh my god, my nose is a little stuffed. I feel like this area of my face is red. And like my eyes are red. My eyes are red from the dryness. I'm not sick, but there's something going on here in Canada. Alright. I guess I'll just throw a biscuit at Spheal and one at Citadel, and that's probably going to be it for me, to be honest. Not going to try to attempt to catch that Mimikyu because I already have a good Mimikyu that I'm investing in slowly. And that will be it for our sleep research. I am now down to 13 Poke Biscuits, but that's alright because the New Year is coming along, which means the shop is going to refresh and then I'll be able to buy 20 more biscuits. So finally, what am I going to choose? What is the best between these 3? What's getting more hoopla? The Citadel or the Togedemaru? I think because I don't encounter Togedemaru often, I'm going to do this so that people can get Togedemaru candy. Also, saying Togedemaru is like so fun to say. I don't know, it just rolls off the tongue really nicely. I'm not really good at tongue twisters, but there's one that I'm pretty good at, which is how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? But the other ones I cannot really do. Alright, we got some diamonds. And you know what, let's move on to the next sleep research site. And then we could pick up all of our goodies and do our dailies. So we are now at area bonus 80. I forget what the max is currently. So I don't know if it's gonna go any higher than that. But back to the canyon we go. Oh, actually, I got ahead of myself. Weekly summary. So everything went up and we got an E grade, probably because of all the naps and the inconsistent bedtimes that I've been scheduling or doing my sleep at. Alright, Amber Canyon. The last time we were here, we hit Master 1. Let's see this week what we will be doing. Alright, is it desserts? It is curries and stews. Ooh, it's been a while since I've made curries and stews. They used to be my favorite for the longest time. Alright, let's pick everything up. I definitely do not have ingredients for curries and stews, so it's going to be a sad breakfast for our skinny mini Snorlax over there. Got all these ingredients. This brings me joy, just like seeing everything drop on the floor, and then the haptic feedback, if your phone has that, when you're picking up the items and you feel the haptic feedback, that's pretty fun too. What can I make? A dizzy punch curry. You know what? We'll make it. Wait, was that 11 of each ingredients? It's 11, 11, 11, 11. And actually right now is 11:04. Definitely do not want to miss out on making my wish of the day. And we didn't get an extra tasty 13k dish strength. That's such a teeny tiny number from what I'm used to. But I remember as a new player, when I would get 13k, I'm like, dang, this meal's packing, you know? All right, so after we feed our Snorlax and our team, can you imagine how back then the team did not eat either? So it's like they're just watching Snorlax eat, and then they implemented a change where your team members now also will enjoy the meal with Snorlax, and you get a little bit of energy recovery from that. Wow, what a time, right? Like, new players will not have been there for that. All right, and let's take our daily gift. It is an ingredient ticket. Nice. All right, let's take a look at the exchange shop here. I have 105 tokens. What is it, tokens? Oh, dream coins. 105 dream coins. And let's see, window shopping, what can we get? Main skill seed, Trico Torchic, and Mudkip candies. Okay, so definitely going to keep my eye out on the main skill seed and the cookies. Cookies first, main skill seed later for me, because I have quite a bit of main skill seeds I'm sitting on. I'm not in a rush to gather more, and as a free-to-play player, it's great that they have brought that into the shop so that we can exchange for them. So quality of life definitely has increased a lot for free-to-play since the beginning of the game. This will be my curry team. Wait, if I'm making ninja curry, I need my Gengar, my Quackleval, Bean Dude stays there, and I need sausages. So I need my, no, not Edifir, I need pepperoni. I love a good pepperoni. Now, is there anything that is worth showing you guys? Oh, I starred one, so that means it's worth showing. Okay, this is what I found. A triple potatoes citadel. Is it like toddle because it's like toddler? Because if so, that's kind of adorable. Okay, here are the sub skills in nature. Skill trigger M, skill level up S, dream shard bonus, inventory up L, ingredient finding M at the very end. And it's a brave nature, just like the one that we caught earlier. So, friends, is this worth investing in? I mean, I could plug it in the Rain on X later today myself after recording and see what the output would be for potatoes. I don't know if Citadel and Citidon are the new Reign Supreme for potatoes, but gonna be something I'm looking into later. And then I start the Citadel here that we caught today, the double sausage one, who also has Brave and ingredient finding M at the end, except this one has ingredient finding S at 25, which is astronomically better. And I mean, if I could switch the sub skills for those two, I would definitely do it. Oh, our Snorlax is growing. Whoa, look at how freaking gigantic Quackleval looks over there. Holy cow, it's like it looks huge like this. Look at the badonkadonk. Okay, we're getting distracted. There was a bug. I don't know what the bug was. So it affected missions and reward distribution. So because of that, that is why we got Dream Coin. So we benefit off people's mistake, and one of the biggest industries that make a lot of money is people's mistakes and people's insecurities. This is the research community time. You guys know the drill. Here is my latte of the day. I didn't mix it yet because I wanted to see how the colors would look. Not too exciting. So I'm excited to mix it. Look at that color come along. Oh my gosh. So I made another batch of banana syrup, and this time I added a heck ton of cinnamon. So I really taste the cinnamon this time, and that brings me so much joy. My friend, my best friend, however, is not so much of a cinnamon fan, but actually I'm gonna say that story. First of all, I hope you guys had a lovely Christmas, whatever you were doing. I can't wait to share my story of Christmas and what I did. It was a little different this year, not what I'm used to, but I enjoyed it, and I'm happy that I put myself in a new situation and be open to an experience of something different than I'm used to, especially this holiday time can be a little lonely when you're living alone, or you might have exited a relationship recently. I know some of you guys are experiencing that. Or maybe you've lost someone this year and you're thinking about them. I hope you continue to think of them fondly. And I hope you continue to heal from whatever you're healing. So that is my Christmas wish I know Christmas passed, but my Christmas wish to you guys. So cheers! Yum. Pinwheel. Peppermint pinwheel, if you're curious. We're 1 minute away till 11:11, so I'm gonna stare at the clock. It's 11:11, make a wish. Alright, I made my wish. But yeah, pinwheel peppermint, so good. I know MP wrote maple praline is another good one, so I think next time I go to the store, I'll pick that up. I think it's a seasonal exclusive, so I have to get on that quickly, but let me take another sip. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I can't wait for my other one later. Yeah, let me talk about Christmas first. Christmas, initially I was deciding on staying alone and just staying at home. Since my family doesn't really celebrate Christmas, so I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna force them. And then I was like thinking, this is my first time living alone. Let's see what it's like to experience the holidays alone. But then my cousins have been, gently nudging me, saying like, hey, you're family too, so Cresselia. They're like, you're family too, so if you want to spend time with Christmas with us, like be more than open to spending time with us. And I was like on and off thinking about it because I just wasn't sure what the dynamic was going to be like, right? I've never really had a Christmas dinner with them, so I don't know. And then I don't know, I just wasn't really knowing what to expect, But the day before Christmas, my cousin asked me if I want to come, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll come. Oh my gosh, a shiny Slowbro. Congrats, Navo. So Christmas comes, and usually when I go over to my aunt's house, holy shit, that's a shiny Entei. G Frostmoth, oh my god, this is the second shiny. No, the first shiny I've ever seen on YouTube was the Raikou from that one YouTuber. But this is my first time seeing someone on the list with a shiny Entei. That's so legendary. Did you catch that pun? I'm so lame. Okay. But holy cow, G Frostmoth. Congratulations. Wow. You must have been so excited. And the color for shiny Entei is so sick. Oh my gosh. Damn. So yeah, Christmas Day comes along and they weren't gonna pick me up until later. My cousin was busy up until, oh my gosh, Carvalho found a shiny Meowth. You could tell because of the color of the tail. Sometimes you can't tell from the color of the body if you're not used to or remember what the regular Meowth color looks like. But the biggest indicator would be the pink from the tail and the ears that show. Also, the color of the body is tan looking. Alright, so I don't know if that Togedemaru is shiny. Let's compare it to another one. Holy shit, that's a freaking shiny Togedemaru. Oh my gosh, Ocelot, congrats. Dang, there's a shit ton of shinies. Okay, so as I was saying, Christmas comes along, and in the morning, I decide, okay, so actually, rewind a bit. My aunt, whenever I come over and I bring something, she's like, you don't have to, your family, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I was raised better than that. I'm gonna bring something, right? So I know that my cousins they had like this huge menu that they were working on for dinner and breakfast, or not breakfast, dessert, okay? So I decided to just make a little something and bring it over. Now, this time of the year on social media, Christmas crack recipes always reemerge. And Christmas crack is basically a saltine cracker, toffee solution, and then chocolate and whatever fixings you want to put on top. And supposedly it's really, really good and really, really easy. And I didn't want to be adventurous and try out a new recipe only for it to fail because baking is not my forte. I want to get into baking in the new year. When I was younger, I really enjoyed baking. My 3 go-tos would be, and the things that I loved baking and my hyperfixation, like the thing I made all the time because I wanted to get better and better, was macarons, chocolate mousse pudding, and creme brulee or flan. I know they're not the same, so sometimes I would make creme brulee, sometimes I would make flan, but those are like the 3 things that I really tried to excel in when it came to baking back in the day, back when I was in high school. Now that I'm older, you know, I mean, 2 years ago, I got into this chocolate chip cookie baking phase. And now I'm like, I'm having that itch to bake again. And living alone, I know sometimes I see videos of people saying like, sometimes you're bored at like 1 a.m. in the morning and you just have that baking itch. And yesterday I had that baking itch. And I'm like, dang, I wish I had more ingredients in the house to make something, because I really have been craving a nice, moist banana bread with chocolate chips. And I have really ripe bananas. I have 4, so 2 I'm going to use to make more banana syrup, and the other 2 I'm going to use to make banana bread. So later, after filming, I'm going to go get the ingredients. I'm really excited. But going back to the Christmas crack, I made Christmas crack because it's a little sweet treat, very fun to make, very easy to make, and I had all the ingredients in my pantry. So I had the saltine crackers. To make the toffee solution, you just need equal parts, butter and brown sugar, which I had, and then chocolate chips to melt on top, which I also had. And I topped it off with flaky sea salt. And oh my gosh, Nova, your shiny Satotl is so cute. So yeah, it's called Christmas crack, right? So I make the joke saying that for Christmas, when I headed to my cousin's house, I brought the vibes and the crack, because throughout the night I'd be like, oh shit guys, where's my crack, you know? And it became like a nice fun joke throughout the night, and it was so memorable. But the even more memorable part, oh my gosh, the woman that my cousin is, because the meal she whipped up, holy cow, she is an amazing host and an amazing cook. This woman, God bless her, someone give her a fucking kiss on the forehead. She was up like early in the morning. I think she was cooking from 11 o'clock to 8 p.m. She made an entire meal. So we had like charcuterie for the appetizer, and then oh my gosh, it was my first time having an artichoke dip, and she made artichoke dip, and I was like, wow, this was what I was missing out on for so long. It was so good. I ate so much of it, and I was just like, I was so in awe. Everything she made was delicious. By the way, I don't think I ate that much the entire year until Christmas Day. It's kind of insane the amount of food that I ate. So artichoke dip, I was like, holy cow, this is phenomenal. And so when I first taste it, I taste it and I look at my cousin and I'm like, holy shit, this is just freaking good. If you told me this was your first time making it, I wouldn't believe you. Like, I would think that this is something that you've made in the past. And she's like, oh my god, really? Like, you're being so nice. And then I'm looking around the table and like no one's saying anything. And I'm like, this is so delicious. Like, thank you so much for making like this beautiful meal, you know? And then she starts laughing. She's like, you're such a great guest. Like, you should host classes on how to be a good guest. And I found that so funny. And then like, I'm looking around the table and I'm like, you guys are so lucky she was born into this family. Cause wow, the woman that she is to whip up all this, you know? So yeah, it was just so good. And every time I ate something new that she made, I just expressed so much appreciation, because she needs to know that she is dang amazing at what she did. And then she was telling me how the way she planned the itinerary for that night was that she wanted to make sure she reused as much ingredients as possible so that nothing goes to waste. And I'm like, what a brilliant mind you got in that freaking noggin of yours to think like that, and then to cook like that. You know what I mean? Because I can't do that. I'm ashamed to say I'm not really good at cooking. I cook really simple things. I make it in batch, and I'm glad that I don't get bored, so I can eat the same thing every day. You know what I mean? My hyperfixation thing has been bagels with cream cheese and then minestrone soup for lunch and dinner. So I live a very simple life. And then I look at her and like the meals she's whipping up for herself every day, and she's like, I don't know, I just want to kiss her on the forehead when I think about it, you know? But yeah, the food was so good. She made a salmon version of a beef Wellington. And if you don't know, the beef Wellington is like beef with puff pastry. But the version she made was salmon. I think she used some of the stuff for the artichoke dip to put on top of the salmon, and then she wrapped it in a puff pastry. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. It was that damn delicious. don't even get me started on the squash soup she made, because that was her first. Okay, it was her first time making that salmon Wellington thing, her first time making artichoke dip, and her first time making the squash soup. Had she told me that this was like her marry me meals, you know, the meals she makes to like want to woo a guy to marry her, I would have freaking believed her, because it was so good. It was hard to believe it was her first time making it. You know what I mean? I feel like my first time making things, so I was a little something missing, but her first time making it, and it's like she's been, as if she's been making that for 10 years straight, you know? So I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I feel so lucky to be able to enjoy Christmas dinner with you guys, because I mean, the vibes are great. Everyone's so nice. I get to hang out with family I don't really get to hang out with, but the food is freaking amazing, you know? Oh my gosh. It was just so good. And I was so full, but then dessert came around and I'm like, I gotta have dessert. I started nibbling on like little snacks and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how I have more space for food, but I got more space for food. My other cousin, she made a banana pudding cheesecake with Biscoff crust. That was damn delicious too. I had one slice. I was so full. I tell you, I felt like I was 5 months pregnant. The way I had to like help myself get up the chair or like bend a certain way to pick things off the floor, I felt so uncomfortable. I felt like I was heavy breathing when I spoke or move around. But after that first slice of banana pudding cheesecake, I was like, you guys, I'm so full, but I want another slice. So I had another slice. Ouch. So I had another slice and I was like, life is good. Life is good. Needless to say, I had a fantastic Christmas dinner with them. And because we had so many leftovers, my cousins packed me a shit ton of food as well, which I'm not complaining about, because from Christmas then on, I have been looking forward to dinner so much, because I'm like, I get to eat this beautiful meal that my cousin made, and every time I eat it, I send her a picture and I would be like, the woman you are, someone needs to kiss you on the forehead, dreaming of this meal, can't wait to eat my next one tomorrow. So I've been having the soup as well as the salmon that she made. My other cousin made this carrot salad, which is damn delicious, so I've been enjoying that. And I watched her make the carrot salad, so I think I'll be able to make that myself as well. We will see. And I am on my last piece of salmon today, so kind of sad, but I get to have a little taste of Christmas later today and a taste of her cooking, especially because she goes back to the States in January next week, so I'm gonna really miss her. So yeah, food is always something that keeps you connected to people. And because that is going to be my last salmon, that means today I have to meal prep. So I'm going to be making another batch of minestrone soup so that I have some soup to eat throughout the week. I also bought these soup freezing cubes on Amazon so that I can make a bigger batch and then freeze them, because the minestrone soup, I think in an airtight container in the fridge, lasts for 3 to 4 days. So usually the amount I make can last me a week, and I'll usually finish all of that before the week ends. But I mean, on a week like what just happened with Christmas, sadly some of my soup did not make it. So moving forward, I want to eliminate as much waste as possible, so that's why I bought the freezing soup cube. So I will let you know whether or not I think it's worth it and whether or not I would recommend it. But yeah, that was my Christmas. It was so much fun. I am so glad I went, and my aunt was so funny. She's like, we gotta bring back for more family dinners. Because, you know, I bring the vibes and I bring the crack, okay? Another thing I want to share with you guys is yesterday my best friend came over. She lives like really close to me and she wanted some banana syrup. And I find that so cute that we live so close together that when she needs something, she could just pop by and grab it. And she really likes the banana syrup I made. So she came over, I gave her some banana syrup. But little to my surprise, she brought me over a bubble tea drink that she brought from another province because she was on a little vacation. So she went to the province next door and then came back and she brought me some bubble tea. And we don't have that bubble tea store here where I live. So I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect it. It's a bubble tea chain we had in Korea, and we don't have it where I live, and we love it because I was like something we all tried together in Korea. And I don't know, it's just like a fond memory we share. So imagine my surprise when she comes over for banana syrup, and then she's like, this is for you. And I'm like, what is it? And she's like, it's the jasmine tea, green tea with the cloud foam thing on top. And she got it with no ice, with the foam on the side, so that when I had the drink, the tea is still fresh and it's not diluted, and I could pour the cream on top. And I was like, oh, to be loved is to be seen. She remembered I like the bubble tea place. I have not tried that version of the drink, but I know it's been viral, so I've been wanting to try it. And she thought of me and brought it all the way back here, you know? And I just felt in that moment so loved and so seen and so adored by her. And I mean, how can you ever settle for anything less than how you love yourself and how your friends love you, you know? So after she left, I sent her like this beautiful message just to like really let her know how much I appreciate her in my life and how special she made me feel, you know? Like, and this is the same best friend when I moved to Singapore. She surprised me at the last minute by showing up at the airport. So I was just about to go like finish the security scanning where you scan your bags and everything. She's calling me and she's asking me which door I'm at, and I tell her, next thing you know, she's at the other side jumping up and down so I can see her through the crowded people. And she's like, she just came one last time to see me off before I left. That's like shit you see in movies, you know? And that was like really, I mean, I knew she was always a great friend to me, but that moment really reminded me how lucky I am to have a best friend like her. You know what I mean? Like, I am so lucky that I have the best friend that I've always dreamed of and wished for. So yeah, it's just moments like this that remind me like just what a lucky girl I am. And I love her so much. And I hope that everyone gets to experience finding a best friend like that in their life, because it makes you feel so special. And the quality of the friendships you have goes such a huge way in terms of satisfaction in life and overall happiness and mental well-being. I could talk to her about anything, and even when we have disappointments or if she hurt my feelings, I can talk to her normally, and then we're not going to hold grudges and we move on from the conversation like nothing happened, you know? And that is such a great friendship to have, whereas some people you might feel like you need to tiptoe around, or you can tell they took things too personally and then they might withdraw from you or something like that. And those relationships can be a little bit draining sometimes, because then you have to always manage their emotions because they don't know how to self-regulate. So I'm so glad that's not the case with me and my best friend. And it's just like, we put effort into our friendship, but it's also such an easy friendship to manage. And yeah, I just wanted to share that because she's so special to me and it made me so happy. But that is basically what has been happening since the last time we've met. I do have a story to tell you, but this video is getting long, so I'll save it for another day. It is basically about what happened last night. So Sunday, I went on a dinner with someone, and that's all I'm gonna say. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it every time you do. Don't forget to join us in the Discord if you are looking for new friends, if you want advice, or if you just want a chill place to hang out. Really a lovely community there, and everyone's so funny. Let me know where you guys decided to go for this event. As you see, I am in Amber Canyon. My objectives are the Happiny and the Whooper, Paldean Whooper. But I want to know what you guys are trying to get and where you're headed. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, take care, good luck, and have fun. Bye.